Hey guys, Speedoz here, and today I bring you a new video about Totem Hierophant. It's a very nice starter build which has an excellent endgame as well. There's a very nice guy who often watches us on Twitch. He's called Jotter, and during the league he kept sharing with us his achievements and how much currency he's been making. So I thought it would be a nice idea to share with you guys this nice build that if you play consistently, you may make lots of currency too. It has a very nice clear speed because once you place your totems near the packs, you run around, run to the next pack, place your totems again, and then they will kill everything. The spell arc has a chain effect inside the gem skill, so once it hits an enemy, it will chain to all the remaining enemies in the pack. Therefore, in most cases, you will see yourself with 0 monsters remaining in your maps. Also, if you pay attention to your top left corner, you'll see a blue bubble buff effect that gives you 6% increased damage per monster killed recently by you or your totems, especially because you get it from the normal lab, and it will make you a very powerful character when hitting maps with low gear costs. It also has a very nice synergy with all the curses being inflicted on you, that with proper gear, their effect will be reduced to 20%, or you won't be affected at all. I'll explain all those things on the next part of the video, where I will show you all the gear overview with the passives and also which bandits I helped. In the video description there will be a budget version and the endgame version of this build, and at the end, of course, the Uber Elder clip, and I hope you enjoy the content. So let's see how we've built this character. We've reached level 87, it's a Arc Totem. For the bandits, we've helped Alira for the critical strike multiplier and the resistances, and we chose Hierophant. For the normal lab, we've got Pursuit of Faith, gives us +1 maximum of totems, and 6% increased damage per enemy killed by us or the totems. It's very nice damage increase. Also, we've got Ritual of Awakening, 3% more damage per totem, Endurance Charge, and Power Charges with Conviction of Power. And for defensive layers, we've got Divine Guidance. It gives us Transfiguration of Mind, which means increased reductions to maximum mana also apply to damage at 30% of their value. It's a very nice mechanic. Only by increasing mana we've got some increased damage. In my opinion, it's very nice. For the leveling part, we went this way, got some spell damage here using Orb of Storms, and went straight up to Ancestral Bond, and this is when we start using Arc Totems. Gives us +1 number to summon totems, and we cannot deal any damage with any skill ourselves. So from now on, the totems will do all the work. Then we got some Arcane Potency, which is critical strike multiplier to spells. Went this way, got some totem nodes here and here. Went straight up to critical strike multiplier over here, and then all along the way we've got some life nodes, mana nodes, mind over matter, which are great for the build. In terms of equipment, you want to have a Shaper wand, item level 85 minimum, so you can have the gain elemental damage as extra chaos damage, and then craft all the multi-mods below. I chose Crystal 1 rather than Opal 1 because it has similar damage and it's cheaper. It's really up to you. Then we use a Soul Mantle 6 link. It's basically a 7 link because all the gems are linked to a level 20 spell totem. Gives us +1 maximum number of summon totems, which is very nice, but it inflicts a random curse on us when our totems die. As you can see here, every time our totems die, we have plenty of curses on ourselves. This is why we use this self-flagellation jewel. Gives us 20% increased damage per curse on us. So you can see our damage skyrockets when we keep losing our totems. And also, this is why we chose to use Atsidi's Reflection. It not only gives us curse reflection, but also makes us unaffected by curses. So it doesn't really matter if you're affected by vulnerability, elemental weakness, warlord's mark, and feeble. It doesn't make any difference on us because we are not affected by them at all, which is very nice. And this is why also we have Coward's Legacy. It inflicts us with vulnerability level 20, but also when we are cursed with this kind of curse, we count as low life even without reserving any life. This means that we can use Pain Attunement, giving us 30% more damage when low life, which is a very nice damage boost to the build. We also use Devotee's Devotion with the End Chain, Arc Chains, and additional time to have better clear speed. We also get dex from it, which is nice because its reflection requires 130 dex, and gives us movement speed, better movementation when placing totems around us. Essence Swarm to give better damage using Rough, and also this ring, you don't necessarily need these exact modifiers, but having a level 12 Assassin's Mark or level 8 Assassin's Mark on hit is very nice, followed by the craft modifiers, multi-mod. It's a very nice damage boost for the build, also because we shock enemies nearby when we have focus. For those who don't know, focus, when you equip an item that has this kind of modifier using any focus, you gain this focus skill. So when you press it, you gain this buff focused, and it activates any modifiers regarding the focus ability. So in this case of this wand, we gain 15% chance to deal double damage while focused, and we shock nearby enemies when we are focused. It's a very nice synergy between Elemental Focus Gem, for example, where you cannot inflict any ailments to the enemy, but when you are focused, now you can. You can shock the enemies, which is very nice, very great damage boost for the build. Regarding the amulet, the best in slot here is the All's Uprising, where your Zealotry reserves no mana and you have increased critical strike chance with your hits. I personally chose a cheaper version and I anointed Herbalism, this note here, but you can also anoint if you want Constitution. A viewer who's often watching us, he's called Drator, he chose Constitution, but it's really up to you. In this cheaper version, I chose Spell Damage, Global Critical Strike Multiplier, some life, some resists. This costs around 5 or 10 chaos, so it's really up to you which amulet you're gonna use on the build. This one has a very nice Implist spell damage, fingerless silk gloves. You're aiming here for maximum life, maximum mana, any resist if you can, and some dex if you can. It's very useful, so I have plenty of here. You don't necessarily need all this much dex. You only need 130 for the Etsy reflection. So once again, really up to you. It's good if you can get it, but don't necessarily need it. For the boots, this one I used on the elemental hit. You want to get here movement speed, some resistances, some life, and some movement speed. The rest is really a bonus status. For the flasks, I chose a Divine Flask, Diamond Flask, a Mana Flask with the Enduring Affix, which is very nice for your survivability, and the sustainability, the mana sustain for your placing totems. Your Cinder Swallow, which gives us onslaught and critical strike chance during effect, if you can. And also, of course, a Quicksilver for your movement speed. For the gems, I chose Arc, faster casting, Lightning Pen, added lightning damage, control destruction, elemental focused, of course linked to level 20 spell totem. Flame Dash, Arcane Surge, faster casting, Clarity, Enlighten, Zealotry, and a portal. Phase Run, cast when damage taken. Steel Skin, cast when damage taken. Vow Righteous Fire, Summon Lightning Golem, and Rough. So when you get to the boss, also remember to place all your totems, get all those curses affecting you, and then activate your Vow Righteous Fire and then your focus, which will give you plenty of damage when you are nearby the enemy. So guys, that's pretty much about it. This build is very nice to play, very comfortable. It's a different style. Totem play style is not for everyone, but if you enjoy, it's a very nice build. If you want to start the league with this one, you want to have 2 Kikazaros instead of the Atsiru's reflection, and then of course at the end game you want to have this Atsiru's reflection so you can have all this synergy which I showed you right now. It's pretty good for the build. Okay, so thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time.
Putrefy, rot, spoil, and fester.
Exile, do something!
Gaze into the abyss. Gaze into the abyss. Gaze into the abyss. Gaze into the abyss. Gaze into the abyss.
My mana is spent.
Gaze into the abyss.
GG!